بهالجزء من مشاهير منواصل استكشاف الشركات العائلية الإيطالية اللي نجحت بتحقيق انتشار عالمي في مجال صناعة الإكسسوارات مع الحفاظ على إرثها العريق. اليوم منسلط الضوء على علامة كسادي التي تمتلك تاريخ طويل بسوق الموضة والأحذية الفاخرة. تعرف كسادي بتصاميمها اللي بتجمع بين الحرفية الإيطالية التقليدية والابتكار العصري، مما بيجعلها واحدة من أبرز العلامات في هذا المجال. بلقاء خاص مع أريانا كسادي المديرة العامة للعلامة تحدثنا عن مصدر إلهامها بالحفاظ على هوية كسادي والاستمرار بإرث العائلة من خلال تقديم تصاميم تجمع بين الأناقة والوظيفية أو البراكتيكاليتي. كان الحوار عاطفي حيث تحدثت أريانا بصراحة عن دورها كمصممة وسيدة أعمال وامرأة في صناعة تنافسية والتحديات اللي بتواجهها بالتوفيق بين هالأدوار، خاصة مع متطلبات السوق العالمية المتسارعة. كما ناقشنا مجموعة كسادي لخريف وشتاء 2025 اللي عكست رؤية العلامة بالابتكار المستمر.
You are literally my soul sister. I don't know how to explain this in any other way, but it's a chemistry that we've had from the first moment that we met. I don't know how God creates these magical encounters.
I can tell you that because a friendship bond over shoes is a match made in heaven. That's the reason why.
That is an amazing tagline, by the way. The next campaign. Congratulations. I love the installation. You're taking us back to the 80s a little bit. 80s,
but with a modern touch.
With a modern touch. I'm an 80s child, so I love this.
Same here. We are millennials.
There is definitely a sense of change that I have felt and anticipated in the fashion industry. There is this shift towards better storytelling, strengthening their identity without relying too much on external factors like friends of the house or key opinion leaders, instead focusing on their own star power. And I've seen that shine through different platforms. And that in terms of creativity impacts this direction as well. How do you see the changes happening lately in the fashion industry, and how do you anticipate the next few years ahead of us?
I would say that as a family-owned business, we need to be ahead of times in many ways. As we were talking about before, we won't have the same ammunitions as bigger brands. Therefore, our creativity, our tone of voice, how we resonate towards our customers, and the language that we use through colors, materials, and at the same time, the level of, contents, we definitely have to have something that is authentic. What I do for a living, what you do for a living, they always come up. We love fashion, but we also love what we do. And we try to instill that kind of sentiment into our collections. So we hope that also our customers can enjoy the same feeling. And there's been a shift in terms of authenticity from bigger brands, but it has never been an issue for us. I mean, since day one, I've been expressing purely what I was going through as a person, as a mom, as a manager. And that's something that I would say it's true till today. Something that I learned from my grandparents, my father still. And we hope that going through the collection, you can feel the same feeling and feel what we felt while designing it.
Actually, I hope that power homes or powerhouses, big fashion brands kind of pave the way for family businesses, for us to actually see that sustainable change that we are all so hungry for. Going back to your life as a designer, as a businesswoman, as somebody that is very passionate about what she does. Yet,
very passionate.
Yes, too passionate.
I'm Italian, what can I say?
And juggles her life between being a hands-on mom and a designer. How do you kind of look at your life as an outsider? If you were to step out of your body for a second, how do you see your life?
There's a lot of improvement and work that I have to do, keep on doing by myself. Because one thing that I learned when I was young from my family, they were always looking towards something new. What's next, no? And I had a really hard time when I was younger understanding I have to celebrate this achievement without looking straight forward to the next thing that is on my to-do list, no? In a way, I would say that I'm very fortunate because I'm surrounded by love, by passion. I grew up with a family that instilled in me like the values that are the core values of the brand itself. And my aim is to share them with a lot of people that are like looking towards our shoes in a way, because they're not just shoes for me.
Definitely.
When you wear that kind of the sling bag, the stiletto or the boot, is definitely something that is unique and there's a story behind. It might have been taking inspiration from an archival piece that my grandparents worked on, and therefore this kind of generational passage is always an emotional one, no? And to answer your question, how do I feel like looking on myself from an outsider perspective? A young woman trying to jiggle everything, giving my best, and trying to translate something that was passed down to me with so much passion and joy and love that I can only hope that my daughter will inherit whatever like she's going to do in the future, you know. Even though I have, you know, my path is a long one for the future. There's always room to improve.
What I love about our conversations is the fact that we give another perspective towards our industry, an industry that might be perceived as a bit too shallow, vain, over consumerism, whatever labels you want to add to it. I love these kind of interactions because really it's not about a pair of shoes. That pair of shoes is about craftsmanship, it's about family history, it's about values, it's about empowerment, to say the least. Not a lot of people may understand that feeling that you get when you put on a pair of high heels, even though that your feet might be like really like suffering and you're hurting, but it makes you stand tall. And sometimes you need that extra factor for you to stand tall and understand that there's nothing that we cannot achieve if we're in the right mindset for it. Having said that, I want to talk about the collection.
Absolutely.
Very empowering, very diverse. You have something for everyone. Even when the heels are not high, when they take different forms, they're still very strong. They talk to a different kind of woman, the woman of today that could be multifaceted. It could be the same woman. She could be the same person.
You said it all. I don't have to add anything. There are so many factors that needs to be taken into consideration. We are talking to different women, we're talking to also the same woman. I mean, what I'm saying is I could wake up today and wear flats because I need that kind of agility in my movements, but I want to have something that is, yes, flat, but with an edge. Shoes have the kind of impact. They are an emotional item.
Yeah.
So I think that even more
an
than
emotional
a bag
buy too.
Purchase, absolutely.
100%.
It's something that expresses your desires and something that might be also an inner thought. So within the collection, you find, as you said, the 4 boots for the collection that I call the snow must go on. Because it's something that you can wear, obviously, on the slopes or in the city to get the kind of cozy vibe. Or then we have the bags. We introduced a bags collection that has been very, very well perceived for every day. You can throw it there, like makeup, keys,
I love
phones,
the fact
laptop,
that big
or
bags
toys.
They're no longer the little ones that fit nothing. They're
Yeah.
back.
I
love
because
that.
it's in the end of the day, it's what we
Practical.
need, no?
Yeah.
You play with the materials, so you have a painted leather that is super glossy like a nail polish, or the animalier effect on the 3/4 boots that is so rock and roll, and yet something that my grandparents designed at the beginning of the 80s with a cone heel, but in a completely modern and with a modern twist. So I would say that that's something that is interesting for us to put out there. And I want to know your favorite afterwards.